Hello, this is Steve, Dichroic Glassman. Putting together a nifty little panel, and I forgot, oops, there's something on here I'm doing that other people could utilize perhaps. So, gonna get into that. Made this neat little panel, and I need to create hangers. So I'm gonna put this hanger wire on here, and I'll show you how I did it, how I'm going about doing it. When I designed the panel, I obviously designed it so that it's symmetrical. Well, it's not obvious, but that's the way I designed it, so that the left matches the right. And this is not a conventional window in that it's an oval, so how are you going to hang it? I just make up my random sizes, so I didn't use an oak frame that's readily available. They're expensive, $75, $85 for an oak frame. So I twist my own lead. You've seen it on many of my other videos. Anyway, I selected a place to hang my wire, this place, and it's going to have to be in the exact same location this side as on this side. So I'm making some braided wire, and I figured, shoot, I better show people how I did that. Here's what it looks like up close. And what you want to do is you want to go to the store. I didn't have any real thick wire, so I improvised. So I went to the store, bought some copper wire. This is 18 gauge. You can use 16 gauge. Well, 16 gauge is heavier, and you can use a bigger gauge than 18. So what I figured I would do is, I'm going to start from the beginning on this. I'm going to dip in some flux, and I'm going to solder these three ends together. That way they're not going to get away from me. So I'll just tack solder the end of this. There. Now they're all stuck together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in my drill. Just take a regular drill, your dad's drill, your drill, mom's drill, dad. It don't matter. Okay, now I've got it in the chuck. I've put the wire in the chuck. Okay, and I'm going to go down here at the other end, my loose wire. This is off screen. And I'm going to hold on to it with a pair of pliers, like this. Okay, now I'm going to take my drill. Well, that's the thing here. Okay, take my drill, and it's braiding it. See it? Braiding it nice and tight. In fact, it's done. It looks awesome. Take my chuck, unloosen it. Let's take a look at it. Man, that's some tight little wire. See? Now I'll set my drill aside and then cut off the end, the rough part. This is the part I stuck in the chuck. Now, I've got some real good copper wire that I can create my own hangers with. And in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to solder this. I'm going to follow the contour of the line. In other words, I'm just going to follow this. And what I do is I'll put something in there. Get my camera here. What I do is when I solder it, in fact, why don't I just go ahead and do this next one. Dip it into my flux. And what I like to do is I like to tin. Let's see where my camera is. Okay, I like to tin it. Okay, then I'm going to stick it on here. There, it's stuck. Now I'm going to bend it a little bit. There we go. I like to find something. I use this, what's called a chart pack, X-Acto. And I'll stick this in the end. You can see it. I'm going to overlap this over to the table. The edge of my bench, in other words. Well, let's do it this way. I'm going to flop my window over. Now you see it. Lay that piece in here. It could be anything. It could be your brush, your flux brush. And what you want to do is just bend that over so that you have a nice space. Okay, since I've got an overlap, I'm just going to cut that. I'm going to use this instead. I like this. I'm kind of spoiled on that. Okay, now I'm bending this around to follow the contour of my solder line. Sometimes you got to use your pliers. Okay, so kind of flux that wire. Let's see if I'm getting in there. See if I can get in just a little bit closer for y'all. Okay, you see the loose wire. It's tack soldered on the other side. What I'm going to do, there, I just tin it. It's stuck down into place. I follow the contour, I bent it, and now I'm going to stick a little bit of solder on there. Solder it to the lead, get it a little, so it's got some nice firm. And when you solder, tap up and down. It's kind of a tap, because if you do it as a brush motion, you're not going to get that line you might be looking for. Just to kind of smooth it in. Put a little bit more flux on there. I got a nice joint going on there. I'll turn it over to the other side, which I started here earlier. Let's see if I can get it in there. Make sure that I've got enough solder on there. That's going to make a good bond. This braided wire is real strong, you guys. Okay. Then when I'm done, I will bend this unit. Take my stained glass grozing pliers. And then I can bend it up. See how I bent that up so it goes up to the top of the window. And then I'll hang my ladder jack chain off of that. Now I've got the other side to do. And what I want to do is bend it down. And I want to try to follow the contour of I use the wire cutters, and they work pretty good to grab. Sorry about the lawnmower in the background. The sounds of industry and things happening, right? Trying to make this quick for you guys so it's not obnoxious. Again, I'm sorry about that. Can't time these lawnmowers. Neighbor wants to cut his yard, he's entitled to do it. Okay, we're done. I got 2 hangers. I'm ready to hang this window. I'll take my wire and bend her up so that, let's see, you could see the one here on this side, the left, and then the one over here on the right. I got my lens zoomed, I'm holding the window, and I can't, I need 3 hands. Well, anyway, there you go. Let's see if I can't back this off for you guys. Okay, here's a nice little snazzy window. Down here at my little finger is one hanger. On the opposite side, you can see the other one. And this will hold this window up. Plenty strong enough. Thanks for watching, you guys. Bye-bye.